not everybody is in a relationship. Not everybody has that, and not everybody absolutely needs it. Some people are good not being with somebody else. Or what do you think, Jesse?
On the other hand, they really want to be with somebody, and there's just nobody good out there.
Nobody good?
Yeah.
Why? Okay. So I know a lot. Relationships are very, very, very tough. And we've been together for 15 years now, over 15 years. It will be our 16th this May. But it's been a while since I've been out on the playing field, and same with you. But what would you say to someone that is wanting to be in a relationship?
And I have a couple of friends that are in that position, and then they try to go to church and find somebody. There's nobody. They try to do Facebook dating, and it's just creepers. I mean, they show their true colors so early on. They're not even trying to hide it,
Like, what are you talking about? Like, why are they creepers?
I mean, it's not creepers, just big turnoffs, like right away. It's like no one's even trying to hide their true colors. Even in the beginning.
Well, I mean,
which is probably a good thing to cut them loose before you get too involved. But
people I've been talking to lately, they're saying like, you don't set the bar too high. You show neglect at the beginning so that you can make it better as you go along. Have you heard this? Is this a new fad or
no?
I just been hearing
Someone
that lately.
Says that. That's like Andy Bernard.
It did make me think of exactly like Andy Bernard. Yes.
What is that? I like your dress, but you could have better hair or something.
Yes.
Something.
Everything has to have a
backhanded comment.
Yeah, backhanded comment.
Don't
that's
do that. No.
Yes.
Don't do that.
And they might have just been saying it in jest. I don't know. But so with people out there that are seeking someone to be with, because that is a real problem today is people feeling lonely and not having someone. And I mean, I wanted to kind of put this out there for everyone out that jumps in the chat that wants to put anything in there. Let us know what is your current relationship status? Are you single? Are you dating? Are you married? And then also, if you are married or with someone like a boyfriend or girlfriend, where did you first meet? And where would you claim that you first met at? Because I think that sometimes can be a little bit different because we met at maybe a couple different places, but usually the place we claim is the YMCA. That's usually where we started actually talking, but we did kind of
cross paths
before then. Yeah. So, but and then because I mean, some people don't want to say exactly where they met because maybe they're not too happy about it. Like everybody's different. But what do you think? I'm thinking about like, all right, because if someone said I met my husband or wife at a bar, would you think that's a bad thing? I'd say that like a bar is like a wonderful place to meet people.
It's just a restaurant, basically.
Yeah, a restaurant. Yeah, like or even a club or some with that like that, because those places are there for that purpose, so people can socialize and meet someone. And I've heard like actual clubs and like loud environment, the music blaring, it does create that atmosphere of to kind of get into that kind of personal space because you got to get closer.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get closer. So what'd you say? And like, so I can actually hear you. And that can be good because it breaks down that barrier where you can or that bubble. Yeah. that people might have up.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Is that kind of awkward? Is that kind of,
no, that's true. But like, as far as places you don't like want to admit you met them, like, it used to be, it shouldn't be, but for some reason, some people are like, oh, I met him online on a dating site. Who cares?
Most people are doing that now. That's very common.
I remember, wouldn't you think like a while ago, like it's kind of like, I met him online or something, like, but it shouldn't be like that. It's like, that's where you go. People of like-minded people go to find somebody. What's wrong with that?
I know people that would feel like that, like you feel like you are just, that's the only way that you can find someone is because it's tough to really meet someone, like to actually start dating, because it's not, you think, oh, we just had a very serendipitous encounter at the grocery store or at church or something or whatever, or they just ran across each other, or I met someone in London, that like some weird place, what do you think about like soulmates? Is God kind of orchestrating this? Like, are we meant to have one person in our life that's out there? And I was taking a little bit deep. What do you think about that?
Yes. But I mean, some people meet their soulmate and then they might pass away, and they meet someone else and they're just as happy with them, you know? I think
that is tough. That is very tough, you know? And what is your definition of a soulmate? And what is
I guess who you're just
destined to be with?
Destined. I mean, I guess. Or just who God wants you to be with.
I think of it as it's like you're that person out there is the one who completes your heart. Like you feel complete. But I mean, but that's always different.
But that's dangerous because as far as the Christian worldview, I guess a person does not complete you. You're complete in Christ, and that's why people are unhappy in their relationships, because they think that you're supposed to make me completely happy, and you can't. God can't make you completely happy. Only God can complete you that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think of that because that is a really good point, because before it was weird in our relationship because I just became a Christian and then we met and started talking and hanging out. But before that, I was always searching for someone, and I'm sure you were too, you know, everybody is searching for someone. And I found that I wasn't ever going to be satisfied or fulfilled in whoever I was finding. And I didn't ever feel at peace, whoever, the people I spent my time with and all that, girls or whatever, and I think God maybe put it that way. Because I needed to find my peace in him first and completeness in him.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm just out there just trying to fill that void of whatever it is, loneliness in my heart, without meeting him first, if I'm just going to put it on another person, that I'm going to be let down.
And even after you found him, you're still going to be let down. But yeah.
What do you mean by that?
By me.
What do you mean?
We let each other down all the time. It's just human nature. No one can be completely whatever, what you need to be.
Yeah. So what do you think? To me, marriage is definitely it's a furnace. It's a crucible. It's a testing. It can definitely be. What are you agreeing or?
Yes.
So
kind of makes it sound bad, but yeah.
But I don't think we always think about everything has to be, we're not happy until we find that person that makes us feel in love. That's the thing. I fell out of love, as opposed to the Christian mindset it's love is an action, and it's something you do. It's not something that it's not a feeling. Mm-hmm. It's something that you carry out, you live out, daily, you might not feel it, but you still do it, kind of thing. And I mean, our marriage, I would say, apart from the grace of God, we would not have made it. And, and apart from the grace of God, we going forward, we need his grace daily. I mean, I always think about without Jesus, we would easily fall away, and not, because sometimes we want to kill each other, but I don't think we should set people up for failure and put them in a light that marriage is the end all be all, and you're going to be, nothing's going to go wrong. It's you're going to have a honeymoon forever. It's never going to stop. Everything's perfect forever and ever. Whereas that's why people do the whole marriage counseling before they get married. I mean, that's when we started kind of seeing differently
during the counseling. Or
so that was a big thing. It was tough. I loved the pastor that we did it with, but it was definitely tough, because we were actually having to really actually talk this out. Mm-hmm. What are your wants? What are my wants? What are and it was not completely smooth as I'd hoped. Mm-hmm. It was tough, and I really remember our very first fights started happening. I can remember probably 6 months before we got married. I remember it was at Christmas. I really you went to your Grandpa Moody and Grandma Moody. They're for Christmas or whatever. And I remember we were fighting for some reason.
You were there with?
No, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. But we were for some reason we were starting kind of to disagree. I don't know. We were 6 months away from the wedding, and we were starting to kind of see differently, and it's tough, I mean,
it might be when you're dating and stuff, you want to put just your best foot forward. And all we had to worry about was where we're going to eat and what movie you're going to see. And we'd be like, I don't care. And like, I don't care. What is there to fight about?
Uh-huh.
And then when you start to get like commitment in there, you almost pushing the boundaries. Like, are you really going to stick around?
Mm-hmm.
And see how serious are you, maybe?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of that.
And then just remember when we were scanning for our wedding stuff, what was it called? The registry thing. We started to see, we have different opinions about things.
That's when you started getting an opinion.
Well, like I said, what else is there to have an opinion about when you're just, going out or watching that show or whatever?
Uh-huh.
Nothing.
And
I don't care about that stuff.
You want to make the other person think that you are perfect. You're a delicate flower. You're an angel. Nothing. You go with everything. You are, or whatever. And once you said I do, you just said now things are changing. No, you didn't.
But it did.
But it did. Things did get tough, and
well,
everybody brings their baggage. Everybody brings their issues. Everybody's got issues.
I had no idea about how you were before.
About what?
Just in certain things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a go-getter though. I'm a go-getter. That's what you were inspired by, right?
That mean?
I don't know. But so Jesse, Valentine's Day, people are out there searching for someone, what would you say to them? What do you think? What should people be seeking and doing, and how can they meet the right person if they have not yet?
See, that's the thing. Not everyone is a Christian out there. Not everyone cares about what God wants and everything. But that's what I think about.
Uh-huh.
So if someone's coming out from that angle, I'd be like, you just follow after God. You're walking on your path and you look to your right and your left and in life. And whoever's kind of doing the same thing alongside with you, that's who you can keep walking with.
Yeah.
But it's not always that easy just to find somebody.
Yeah. To me, I think of it, you can't even be looking for somebody. To me, you got to even almost, from what I remember, you got to be out of that mindset, because if you're looking for, everybody's different, but to me, I think almost you got to be just looking towards Christ and living your life for Him and going towards Him and doing whatever. And like you said, God will bring the right person into your life.
I agree with that. But then it's like, I always have this conversation with my friend Molly. Like, do you just sit there and wait for him to be like, okay, you go to this college, throw it in your face. Here's your husband, drop him in your lap. Or do you just go out and be like, I'm going to try this and see if it works out, or date? I mean, that's why you date people, is you kind of just try them out. I mean, or like, if you're not in college, you have a job that you go to. Let's say you're a teacher. There's not many men there.
Uh-huh.
How are you supposed to ever find anybody? Unless you look for somebody like online or something, or
yeah, I mean, are
you saying like just don't be obsessed about it? I gotta find a man. I mean, I've had friends, both boys and girls. They're like, I just want to find a good Christian girl or guy, but except like they're different ages or something. I couldn't put them together, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's really sad to me, because you have like a good Christian, my girlfriends, a couple of them who just wanted a good guy, and it just hasn't happened yet. It's been a very long time, It's very sad.
We don't need to make it seem like that people, if they don't have someone, that like their life is ruined, their life is a failure.
No, it's not. But if they really want it, I mean,
because the Bible makes it seem like it's almost a greater gift if you can go live your life without someone. It makes it seem like that, Paul says, I wish everyone was like I am.
But like, he wasn't wanting a spouse. That's fine. But these people want it. And it's, the companionship and that love,
Yeah.
It's sad.
So say you're on a first date, and I wanted to actually even talk about dating in general. Because I've went back and forth about this, about dating, because we used to say courting. You're courting someone. You were the one.
We never said.
You introduced me to that phrase. I
didn't.
I never heard of such a thing. But it made sense. Like it's just a more holy version of dating, I guess. Because I went back and forth. Like, I think it's good to date. And I don't know of many people that disagree. But maybe some people do disagree with the dating of it.
What
Like
does that
they
mean?
they throw another label on it. They call it courting. But
That I think it's the same thing.
well,
You're getting together with someone, you're learning if you're compatible.
is it? I don't know.
Courting
There's got to be definitely a difference. It can't be just this thing that we created a different word for no reason. It's got to be something.
Yeah. Well,
Either way, I think dating's good. I think dating's good because I mean, the fundamental test of it is what would we promote for our children, and are we going to let them just go out one-on-one with somebody as opposed to being in a group with people? Like, because you can trust your children all day long, but like, you don't know if you can trust the other people that they're with,
yep.
and I think guys, especially, they are the gas pedal to the metal. Their mind is one thing only. Especially in high school, and especially, and I'm not gonna like quickly easily forget about it just because I have 20 years now of a different mindset. I can still remember what it was and how all the kids were, and I'm sure they are like that still. Guys are like, if they're not in a fundamental or in a, I don't know if to say fundamental, just like in a Christian like community, they're just all they are is influenced by the world, and that's they have the world's values, and they see just what TV tells them what a relationship should be, and it can be not so wholesome and good.
Yeah.
So I mean, we almost have to be protective of our children, like in a sense, like, but like how do you allow love to flourish? How do you do that?
Like, as far as, like, our kids growing up?
Yeah.
I think you almost have to I don't know. They're in high school. What are they yeah, people have high school sweethearts and they marry them sometimes, but I don't know. Like, that'd be good for them in high school. Like, go out in groups, and if he wants to come over here, that's fine.
Yeah. Because I think even when we were dating together, like a lot of times I would come over to your parents' house, and we would hang out there, and
Mom would be like, "Go out. You're always here."
but I didn't want to spend money.
I know, we just wanted to hang out at home.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what's fun, you just want to be with the person, you don't want to be out. You don't need to be like
we went out.
You weren't a person that we went out occasionally, but like you weren't a person that like needed to go out and spend money or anything like that. I mean, you're a diamond in the raft. Is that what it's called?
Rough.
A diamond in the rough?
Yes.
Why? Okay, yeah.
My mom got on to me about that today. We went out shopping and like through lunchtime, and I didn't stop to eat anywhere because I like my own food and I didn't want people. She's like, "Yeah, I just like you."
Just saving money.
I brought snacks.
Well, that's how you are, and I'm very thankful for that. Not every guy has that, a wife that is so careful with money. It's a good thing.
You can say it.
What?
Cheap.
You're not cheap. Well, I don't know.
That's okay.
I
prefer frugal.
Yeah, you're good with money. You care about money, and I'm the same way. Jesse, let's not go down that road. Okay, Jesse. So
moving on.
All right, so say people are dating now. Like, let's go through. We're gonna go through the top 10 questions to ask on a first date.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go through these because it'd be funner to hear what your response would be.
Oh.
Okay. Jesse, number one. What's something you're really passionate about?
God.
Okay.
Or I should be more passionate about, but because that's what I tell my friends who are trying to date around. Like, just put it right out there in the beginning. One of the first questions, where are they with God? And if they're not, Yeah.
But I think a lot of people aren't in that mindset.
I know,
you're like,
and that's
who
why
are you attracted to? And it's like,
and you still need that if you're a Christian or not. But it's like, how are you coming at me with a question? I'm always kind of thinking about the Christian mindset. But I mean, I don't even know how to think the other way. I mean, just similar values, I guess, which I don't even.
Because I mean, if you, that's got to be the biggest thing. But like, I think there is a difference between like maybe if you're just out there on the market and you want to find someone. If someone says that they're not a Christian, then that would be one thing, as opposed to someone that like maybe just in name saying they're a Christian when like you might not be so sure. I say if it might be a deal breaker at the beginning if they're openly not like a Christian at all, if they just don't even want any part of it. But Yeah, that it is like we might seem all like hoity-toity or not really, or just like
it always comes across that way. I understand.
What holier than thou, but like it is a huge thing. It is like if you get that wrong, that's going to set you up completely for failure, and you're going to be unequally yoked to someone, even if it's just for a short time. Maybe I guess it is who you marry. You don't want to marry someone that you're off, you're not aligned on that. You have to be on the same page with God and Christ.
I mean, that's what I tell the kids. Like, it's hard enough being married as a Christian when you're both Christians. Can imagine if you didn't have that holding you together. Even harder.
Yeah.
But I mean, the divorce rate in Christians is just the same. So I mean,
I've heard different studies about that. I've heard that people say that, but that could be just because a lot of people that are Christian in name only, but they don't necessarily.
No one knows but God, right?
But yeah, that's definitely a tough one.
What would you say to that then?
What I'm passionate about?
Yeah.
If I'm just meeting you for the very first time?
Yeah.
Like
which you already did.
I would say, yeah, what I'm passionate about. Yeah, I'm a Christian. I'm passionate about Christ. Like I would start it off with that, set it how it like the most important thing in my life. I would start it with that. Yeah.
Do you remember right there in the fitness floor?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, "Hey, Brandon, what's been going on?" And what'd you say?
I said I've had a lot of
big changes in my life. And I was like what?
And I said,
I just became a Christian, and I did like an Elaine to you, I think. I said, "Get out! I am too."
I was setting I was saying, you're not getting through Matthew to me until you get through Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And
I'm like, they're my best friends. We're fine.
Because I did I didn't know anything about you, so I was really just throwing it out there. I had no idea about you at all, so I did set it. I just I put it out there. Because that was the most important thing in my that was and I had just become a Christian, so that's all I was thinking about, all I was talking about. That's all I cared about. So that was it was definitely the most important thing. But
that was almost like the fuel. I already kind of liked you and everything, but fuel for the fire. Just learning that,
Jesse. All right, number 2. How do you usually spend your weekends? So these are good questions to ask if you're dating someone. Just out there. How do you usually spend your weekends? What would you say?
You're asking me?
Yeah. And we
currently
are just we're on a first date, and I'm just asking you, how do you usually spend your weekends? Think about
with our kids.
No, we're not married. We're on a date.
So back then,
I guess, or yeah,
I'm going to movies with my friends.
That's what you would say?
I guess.
How do you usually spend your weekends? I would probably have said I play some sports. I play basketball. I like basketball a lot because that was my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Probably basketball, or I would probably say try to make it sound cool. I go out and hang out with friends. I do stuff like that. All right, number 3. What's the best trip you've ever taken?
Our honeymoon. I'm just joking. Best trip, cruise with my family.
Okay. What I would say, best trip I've ever taken? Oh gosh. See, I've never been about a person about conventionality. That's my thing. I can't just speak in conventionalism. I got it. It's painful for me to just, I don't even know how to describe it, but
what you mean, like chitty chat?
Yeah. And just
that's all you do,
I guess
though.
What is expected to say, to be said in a certain sense, and that people are good with talking or whatever, small talk and anything like that, or just something in general. If I feel like it's the thing of the moment to say, I can't say it. I have to force myself to say that because I'm not like that. I want to almost.
Then don't be. Nobody wants you to be like that.
But a lot of people are a lot more personable, and they're able to interact with people that have that capability. So, but if you ask me that, what best trip I've ever taken, I don't know. I'd probably say going down to Mizzou with my class, to the wrestling state championship, and just doing that and hanging out with friends. Just something.
Yeah.
All right. 4, do you have a favorite book, movie, or TV show?
Pearl Harbor movie.
Oh yeah, I would probably know most of these for you.
Scarface.
Yeah. Jesse's favorite movie is Scarface.
No.
My favorite movie is Scarface. Oh yeah, yeah. Tony Montana, mine. Tony Montana. Yes. So okay.
You can't?
That's okay.
No.
He's up there. He's always
looking
watching.
Down on us.
Yes. So Yours would be Pearl Harbor. And TV show, I could probably say Friends. You would say Friends. And
Friends for you? Office.
My favorite TV show, maybe that's tough. I would probably default to Friends. Yeah. All right. So number 5, what's your ideal way to spend a free evening? So what's up? What's your ideal way to spend a free evening, my lady?
Like by myself?
Anything. What do you got?
Well, they didn't have this 15 years ago, but TikTok in front of the fire.
TikTok in front of a fire? That's cool. Yeah, I mean I think that's most people today, you know? That's to me, it would be just honestly, right now it would be reading. It would be reading and I drink Rock Stars energy drinks. That's my favorite thing in the world. I love it. You know, I mean, I love it's probably terrible for you. And I've seen, horrific videos of people that drink energy drinks, but it's got some good stuff in there. I love it. That and coffee. I love coffee and reading a book.
You and caffeine get along good.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's but you shy away from the caffeine. I cannot believe it, but I'm good with that. It's keeping you the way you are, It's keeping you
boring,
fresh. No, I mean you should see her on caffeine.
Yeah.
I remember the very first time whenever I saw you on caffeine, she was pounding some tea and she started going da, 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 da,
dancing a jig.
Yeah, she was doing a jig right in front of me, right in front of me, unashamed. So she didn't even know what she was doing, and I just called it out. I said, "Jesse, do you know what you're doing right now?" And she just started doing it. She was a little.
Like I've not done
little
that
elf.
Okay.
Okay. All right. 6. What's something new you've tried or learned recently? That's a tough one. That's definitely
the first thing that came to mind. Like back then, I recently ran a barrel race I've never done before.
Like riding a horse.
Not just riding a horse, doing a barrel race on a horse.
That's what you would say,
I guess. I've never done it before.
These questions are gold. What's something new I've tried recently? Or I've learned. Oh man!
And you're thinking back then. See, that's hard because that's a long time ago. Are you supposed to be answering it like you would back then?
Yeah, you're on a date. It can be any time of your life. Just you're on a date. You're on what you say whatever you want. You don't. It can be anything.
Oh,
there are no restrictions. Nothing is holding you back. You are.
It is because I can't answer now because everything is tied up with you guys.
That's sweet. Okay, so
nothing is my own.
Yes, but it's good. It's good. Marriage, you get everything is interwoven. Everything is completely interwoven, and it's just the way it is. But something I wouldn't even know how to even answer that. Like I'd be like, that's a good question. I don't know what I would say to that.
What was the question?
What's something new you've tried or learned recently?
Oh. If it's actually current, all this techie stuff.
Oh yeah, that would be something. Yeah, like for me currently, yeah, I would be learning this type of stuff. Learning how microphones and cameras and videos. Yeah. All right. So number 7, if you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why? And you can't say Jesus.
Why?
And you can't say you can't. Let's say you can't say Jesus because that's anyone who out there is not going to say Jesus.
A lot of people.
But they would love to.
Adam.
Adam?
Beginning of time.
And why?
Naming the animals. Yeah. Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve. So just Adam? That's a good one. I was even thinking who I would say.
You weren't thinking biblically. You were thinking else.
Yeah. I'm going to go George Washington. George Washington.
It crossed my mind.
The first president of the United States. I want to know the real story. I want to know okay, just leave it alone. That's all right. All right. We're having some technical difficulties. All right. So I would say George Washington because there's so many things I would like to know. The founding of this country, what people say about you, what's correct, what's not, was it really, because I mean, there are so many different stories that people can't get straight on. And that's only 300 years ago, 200 years, 250, 250, pretty much 250. Yeah. And so that's who I would say. It would be somebody interesting, George Washington. All right. Number 8, what's a random fun fact about you that most people don't know?
I'm not very fun, but fun fact?
What's a random fun fact about you that most people don't know?
I guess I'll go with my 4th grade arm wrestling champion. Lame, because I wasn't really, I didn't arm wrestle.
That's a good one. Yeah,
I didn't
that's
arm wrestle everyone in the grade, so
you won.
it's just funny.
You were the strongest person in your 4th grade.
Technically, no.
But boys too, or just girls?
I remember
were they letting you win? Was that real?
I mean, at 4th grade, everyone's the same strength.
Everybody's about the same strength.
Except I know there's a couple boys I didn't, and they were like the really big ones. So, but I was declared the champion. I don't know.
That is a good one. I don't even know what I would say. What's a random fun fact about me that most people don't know? I've studied Greek and Hebrew.
Yeah,
I've studied Greek and Hebrew. That's most people don't know, and I don't.
Masters.
I don't normally share it,
biblical language.
But that was whenever early on when I became a Christian, I prayed to God. I wanted to learn the languages, I wanted to, and then I actually got to go to school for it, and I would always want to go back and take some more classes. I think it'd be so fun. Those are the funnest classes, School can be fun if it's something you love. All right, so 9. What's your favorite type of food or go-to restaurant?
I don't know. Like I said, I like to eat my own stuff at home. So boring. Remember Uno's, that pizza place, but it went out, of course.
Oh yeah.
And then
that was really good.
Before that, it was, remember when we were younger, Chi-Chi's?
I can't believe you like Chi-Chi's. I cannot believe you like Chi-Chi's.
Don't say Chi-Chi.
Why? What was it called?
Just sounds dumb now.
But I mean, I don't think I knew that place. I ever remember really ever going to it.
Oh.
But I don't know why.
You just don't like Mexican now.
Yeah, I guess I'm not a fan of too much, unless it's Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. Taco Bell is awesome.
That's not Mexican.
That is Mexican to the core.
We have a message from Sherry Lynn Fogel.
What did she say?
She said, I thought you'd pick Paul, Brandon.
Oh, I tried to pick something outside of the Bible. So if I did pick in the Bible, I would choose the Apostle Paul. Yeah. Hands down, the Apostle Paul. And then second to that would be King David. So those two right there. But the Apostle Paul, I mean.
I'm old school. I was going to say Adam or Noah. I go way back.
Really? I mean.
Beginning of time.
I know.
Walking with God.
Man.
Naming the animals.
And Noah. Like what?
Yeah.
Well.
You're the only people left on the face of the earth.
I've always wondered about that. Like, they're the only ones there. You would think that it would be easy to get along with everyone then. Because no one's really there, And then the people that you are close to are your family, But they still had strife. They still had battles within. But that would be a good one. I thank God someday we will be able to see. We're gonna be going through and just talking to all these titans of the faith,
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be a person that's well known. Everybody is bringing their own story into heaven, into the kingdom of God. We think, the heaven, that's just a fantasy land. That's fantasy land, But that's as real as it gets, baby. Heaven and God's throne room. We are almost right now. What we are experiencing, this is like what you would call the dream state. This is like more of a dream state of fantasy land than what God's presence is. That is like we think of physical, like that. If it's physical, it's real. As opposed to, I just think of the book, The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis, and he talks about when he goes, he takes that trip up into heaven. And things just become so much more substantial there. And it's like, as opposed to here, is kind of like the shadows. And it's just like, there's not really any meat to anything, It's just like, it's all fluff here, as opposed to that's where it gets real. I know I get going on a tangent, but I love talking about that. And that's all. I mean, that's the most important thing that I care about, It's all I would talk about. And I think that's what heaven will be. It'll be talking about just that kind of stuff and talking about things of God, for eternity.
Speaking of the flood, though, it says Don Baker. Hey, Don.
Oh, hey, Don.
We're going to talk to Don sometime about the flood.
That would be really cool.
And the geological impacts of the flood. We were talking about it. And I'm just an idiot. And he's so smart.
What did he say anything?
I don't even talk about it.
You don't remember? Yes. Don, he knows so much about the weather.
Comment something. Oh, yes, he's a meteorologist.
That's what I was saying.
And he's super smart. And I got all of my
storm chaser too. He's a storm chaser.
I got all my weather information from Don on Facebook.
Yes. There's
But yeah, he wants to talk to you about the flood stuff.
Oh, that would be so cool. That would be absolutely awesome. All right. So, all right. And then, which one did we just do? Okay. Number 9, what's your favorite type of food or go-to restaurant?
Oh, yeah, that's where we went with that.
That was what we just did?
Yeah,
You said Uno's.
I guess.
And we kind of, we derailed. What?
It's kind of lame, but Chipotle, it's pretty.
That's what I would think of for you, Chipotle. Mine, I always go barbecue. A smokehouse or Jack Stack. Though I would go something barbecue. That's probably my favorite. I always used to say pizza.
Yeah, me too.
But like,
I'm over it.
I'm not as into it as I used to be. But so I would probably go more barbecue. And then lastly, what's one goal you're currently working toward?
So now,
Jesse, we're not doing this anymore. We're not doing this anymore.
Okay,
it's whatever you want it to be.
Whatever you want it to be. It was probably just get through college, get a job. Now it's these online shops that we're doing.
Oh yeah.
Updating them.
Yeah, I would do that as well. I would say the same thing. I like kind of just the online stores and building things up online and talking about that. And I would love to like throw in there, like I would love to go for another type of, even if it's not a full degree, in biblical languages but something like that, The next thing would be a doctorate, and I don't think I would ever have time for that. That takes a lot of time. I mean, and that's a lot of writing you have to do, like a lot. I mean, that would be like a full-time job. People that go for that is like a full-time, that's all they can do because they still have to work, but a lot of times it's their spouse that's having to work, and do it during that time. You're taking out a loan just to live,
Mm-hmm.
which would be tough, but it would pay off in the end if you're doing what you love and, kind of can make up for lost wages, So yeah, well, that's very interesting. I would say like, so what's one thing about like, we would give to people out there that are seeking a relationship. They're not in one, but they want to find the right person. This is like, to me, this is a real issue. And like, I think of it now because I'm married with you, a guy like you and a girl like me. No, no, but like, so this doesn't just have to, and I'm not going to take it in a crazy way, but like this can also apply in guy to guy and girl to girl in a sense that finding a right friend out there, a person that you can connect with, And I've heard something recently that I'd watched about like, we think of it as weird, like a guy can date a guy to in the sense of to find a real friend out there, choose finding a friend or somebody that is like, that's going to be on the same level with you, that's going to be a person that you want to be with. You treat it as like dating in a sense. Like, have you heard this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they say a guy out there, we want to find other friends that are guys, like that you're going to actually jive with, you're going to connect with, you're going to want to like do things with. Treat it as almost dating. It is almost dating. This was.
Well, I mean, this
is one person's perspective, but this is something different that I'd never really even thought of. It seemed kind of weird when I heard it.
Dating is seeing if you're compatible with, I don't know, same values and all that, and if you, connect, friends or, yeah.
Because I'm all about like, I want to put the people in my life that I want to be around. I've really changed my mindset on that. Like that I used to like surrounding myself around with people that like lift me up. And like, if people are going to say things and just like leave me in a bad impression, I want to kind of, as much as possible, get them out of my life, as much as, Christianly as possible, and all that, all that good stuff. But this is a real deal because relationship is the name of the game. It's a huge thing that people are experiencing in their life. They're wanting to find people out there that are similar to them, So I think everybody can find that, Just keep going, but you have to almost have your mindset that you're going to look for Christ first. Let Him fill that the only thing that He can fill, and then He'll maybe bring someone in your life that you can have a real connection with.
Mm-hmm. I just feel so bad for those who want it so bad. I did too. I was single all that long, and it was lonely. And I would date people who I'm like, oh, I should not be dating them. But I was like, we go out to movies or whatever, but we're just wasting each other's time,
Uh-huh. And it's like, when you're the person that you're with, I just keep hearing like an echo in here or something, like whatever. It's did you hear that? It just keeps doing something. All right. So either way, I just think of the people that you like what you're saying. What did you just say? I lost my train of thought. What did you say?
What did I say?
What did you say?
I don't
That
know.
noise is really throwing me off.
I have a dishwasher.
Don't say that. It's not the dishwasher. This is real life situation. This is in real life, IRL.
What's that what that mean?
That's not the dishwasher. It's like it sounds like a UFO almost. That's like
Dishwasher.
It's not the dishwasher. Okay. What did you just say, Jesse?
She said like.
What did she say, Bonnie?
She wanted, like, to marry someone so bad.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
She went to the movies, but
Wasting our time. Yeah. So many people.
You felt like you're wasting their time and they were wasting yours?
I knew I didn't want to be with him, but I wanted to go to Worlds of Fun, or I wanted to go to the movies with him, or just don't want to have to sit at home.
Yeah.
But I knew they most likely liked me, but I don't know. I knew they weren't Christians.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm lonely.
Okay.
Not good.
Well, all right. We'll close it out at that. So everyone out there, have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Keep going. Keep and find the right person that makes you happy. That's the most important thing. All right. We'll leave it at that. Thanks, everyone.
See y'all.